And members of the Congressional Black Caucus have been hurling insults left and right at members of the Tea Party movement. And now Democratic Indiana Congressman Carson has decided to get in on this Tea Party bashing. Now listen to what he had to say.
We have seen change in Congress. With the Congresswoman Wilson's point, the Tea Party is stopping that change. And this is beyond symbolic change. This is the effort that we're seeing of Jim Crow. Some of these folks in Congress right now would love to see us as second-class citizens. Some of them in Congress right now in this Tea Party movement would love to see you and me, I'm sorry, Cameron, hanging on a tree. Some of them right now in Congress are comfortable with where we were 50 and 60 years ago, but it's a new day with a black president and a congressional black caucus.
Now, FoxNews.com reached out to Congressman Carson's office, and his spokesman confirmed the congressman's remarks. And he went on to say, quote, he believes that members of the Tea Party are ones that are standing in the way. He used the strong language because he believes that that agenda jeopardizes the most vulnerable. Joining me now with reaction from the News Civil Rights Coalition, Mike Myers, nationally syndicated radio talk show host, soon to be a daytime television host starting September the 19th. As a great American himself, Bill Cunningham, who licensed rights for Great American Panel. All right, Tea Party members are terrorists. They can go straight to hell. They're racist. And now he's saying that, Tea Party movement would love to see you and me hanging on a tree.
This guy is the, no pun intended, the whip of the Congressional Black Caucus. This kind of rhetoric is ignorant, it's repugnant, it's regressive, it's vile. To use an Ann Coulter word, it's demonic. It is sheer racial rhetoric chasing after racial idiocy, which is the usual fare for the Congressional Black Choir.
Choir?
Choir. Because they sing the same old song of separatism and peddling racial poison.
Bill Cunningham, where's the President of the United States?
You know, Sean, this is being orchestrated strictly out of the White House. Think of the number of racially incendiary remarks made by numerous of the acolytes of the Democrat Party. This didn't come from Carson. This came from Barack Hussein Obama. He's the one orchestrating the attack in racial terms. Why? He's losing black votes because of black unemployment. He's losing Hispanic votes until recently, until he said all of a sudden immigration's okay. If you're an illegal Hispanic, you can stay here. But this guy understands that if the Tea Party movement succeeds in 12, like it did in 10, he's Jimmy Carter Part 2. Yeah. So the orchestration is clear from the White House. This is a racial attack upon the Tea Party.
But let's analyze this. All the attacks before the 2010 election, a historic election, the biggest midterm victory in 70 years, it didn't work. It backfired. They tried the Tea Party's racist before. They tried that they're terrorists before. Well, now they can go straight to hell.
Everybody and anybody who criticizes Barack Obama, anybody and everybody who disagrees with the Congressional Black Choir, they're racist or a Negro. That's how they operate. Moreover, let's look at this. This is an inversion of the rhetoric. Now, I am not a member of the Tea Party. I am a liberal. I am a liberal, as Ed Koch would say, with sanity. And the point here is that the Tea Party's movement principles are liberal principles.
So good up until this point in the show. You really
let me tell you why this is an inversion on their part of the rhetoric. Because Tea Party principles are liberal principles. Limited government, whereby you have the United States Constitution as the law of the land. That's what the Tea Party says they believe in. And liberals believe that. You talk about free enterprise, free markets. Liberals believe in free markets and free enterprise.
All right.
Liberals believe in the kind of personal freedom.
It's not modern liberalism. Modern liberalism is.
I'm not going to have.
We're talking about John F. Kennedy.
I'm not going to have the racial. I'm not going to have the racial racketeers hijack the notion of liberalism.
Let me go to Bill Cunningham. Bill Cunningham. Obviously, the president can't run on his record. The Senate is going Republican, and a lot of the Democrats know that. So it seems like when the president says that Republicans want kids with autism and Down syndrome and the elderly to fend for themselves, that's a lie. When you hear this type of racial rhetoric being repeated by numerous House members, Democrats.
Racial poison.
All right, well, this is obviously a strategy.
Sean Hannity,
where's it going to bring them?
The hurricane was politicized. Irene was politicized for benefits. There have been two great grassroots movement in your lifetime and my lifetime. One was the anti-war movement, which gave us Nixon for 8 years, 4 years to Jimmy Carter, 8 years to Ronald Reagan. The second great grassroots movement in the last 50 years has been the Tea Party. And the only way Obama wins the presidency in 15 months is to demonize, to make hateful, and to smear Tea Party members, despite what they say.
I think it backfires.
Did it work in 2010?
No.
It will not work in 2012. He can spend his $1 billion for Michael Myers' friends on Wall Street. He can spend all the money he wants, the $1 billion.
I don't have any friends on Wall Street.
But you can't put whipped cream on excrement. You can't put whipped cream on excrement and eat it. And he's trying to put whipped cream on excrement, and it's not going to work.
You can put whipped cream on excrement, it still tastes the same.
I wouldn't know, Mike. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
But in all seriousness here, this is when we're dividing the country, rich versus poor, black versus white, and that anything can be said. Whatever happened to the Gabby Giffords era of civility to the president election?
Well, people didn't ever believed in civility in terms of discussion.
It was BS.
It was that moment of tragedy that gets people to say and to give words meanings and that don't have. I never believed that.
Last question.
I have one real fear. There might be a Jared Lee Loughner out there, a crazy individual
but words
that listens to the rhetoric of people like Carson and say it's time for me to take action against members of the Tea Party. And when that happens, I want to hear from Carson and Maxine Waters and saying, we're sorry, we caused some crazy dude to go off on a member of the Tea Party. It could happen.
I believe in the power of free speech and rational dialogue. And this kind of racial rhetoric should be condemned by those people who should condemn it, including Barack Obama. Where is his voice?
And
where is the people? Where are the other Congress people, black and white and other? Why haven't they condemned this kind of racial poison?
Can't find him with a search warrant.
Guys, good to see you both. Congratulations on the new TV show.